Welcome to the Coins Explorer. Imagine holding in your hand a simple copper-colored coin that looks just like the millions of others you've seen every day, yet hidden beneath its ordinary shine lies a secret so incredible that it could rewrite coin collecting history forever. Because this unassuming 1964 1-cent USA coin with its face value of just 1 cent is believed to be worth a jaw-dropping $311 million today due to a combination of mystery, minting errors, rarity, and the historical significance it carries from one of the most iconic transitions in American coinage. And it's the kind of story that makes every coin hunter dream about finding treasure in their change jar, as this penny holds a legend of unimaginable value that turns ordinary collectors into millionaires overnight and leaves even the experts speechless. So before you spend or ignore that 1964 penny lying somewhere in your drawers, you might want to take a closer look because it could be hiding a fortune you never imagined possible. The 1964 Lincoln cent represents not just a piece of copper, but a piece of American history minted during a time of change when the U.S. Mint was preparing to shift materials due to rising metal costs and production adjustments, resulting in certain transitional errors that have made some of these coins unbelievably valuable, especially those struck with wrong planchets, double dies, and off-center strikes that were never meant to reach circulation, yet somehow slipped past quality control and into the hands of everyday people who never realized they were holding multi-million-dollar treasures. And among all those minting years, 1964 stands out for more than one reason. It was the last year the Denver Mint produced the Lincoln cent in full copper composition before a series of experimental transitions began, meaning that specific error variants such as those struck on 1964's silver dime planchets, or with 1,963 reverse dies, became highly sought after by collectors, and each time one of these rare specimens appears at auction, the bidding war sends shockwaves through the numismatic world because the sheer rarity and story behind them fuel astronomical prices. One such coin reportedly sold for over $311 million due to its perfect condition, the deep mirror-proof-like finish, and the unmatched rarity that has never been seen before in any Lincoln cent series, making it not just a collectible but a historical masterpiece. And what makes this coin story even more fascinating is the speculation that a handful of 1964 pennies were struck on leftover proof planchets intended for earlier issues, possibly by mistake or through experimental minting processes, which gives them an incredibly unique luster, sharpness, and mirror-like fields that differentiate them from regular circulation strikes. And while most people think a penny's just a penny, numismatists know that these tiny differences, like a double date, repunched mint mark, or a reverse die from another year, can multiply its value by thousands or even millions. And that's exactly why collectors are obsessed with inspecting 1964 pennies under microscopes, magnifiers, and under special lighting to detect those rare indicators, because the difference between a common cent worth 1 cent and a rare error worth hundreds of millions can literally come down to a small minting detail almost invisible to the naked eye. Imagine a 1964 penny struck on a 90% silver dime planchet, its color lighter, its weight slightly less, and its rim slightly misaligned. Such a coin would be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery worth more than most luxury homes, or a 1964 cent struck with a double die obverse where the date and lettering show perfect doubling under magnification, giving it that unmistakable proof of minting error that collectors crave. Or even a broad strike where the coin expands beyond its normal border yet retains every detail sharply struck. Each of these possibilities has been documented and authenticated in the past, but some versions are so rare that only 1 or 2 examples are known to exist, and when those hit the auction block, major collectors and investors from around the globe compete fiercely to own a piece of American minting history, often pushing prices beyond what anyone could imagine for something as small and simple as a penny. And that's exactly how the legend of the $311 million 1964 penny was born. a coin rumored to have been struck with an experimental die combination, preserved in uncirculated condition, and featuring an unmistakable proof-like surface, becoming the single most valuable cent ever recorded in history. And even if you think these are just stories, the reality is that millions of dollars have already been paid for certain rare cents from the Lincoln series, like the 1943 copper cent and the 1955 double die, which proves that unbelievable values can and do exist in the world of coin collecting. So why not the 1964 penny too, the coin that captures the imagination of every collector who dreams of finding that one hidden gem in a pile of change? Every flicker of light on its copper surface could be the hint of a fortune, and that's why people all over the world are now checking their 1964 cents again, examining them for doubling on the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date, checking the reverse for any misaligned lettering or die cracks, because these details are exactly what can elevate a 1-cent coin to the level of priceless rarity. And even beyond the physical errors, some coins become legendary for their mysterious origins, like those believed to have been part of experimental strikes or proof tests done privately within the mint, never officially released but somehow leaked into circulation, making them almost mythical among collectors. And as time passes, the demand for early copper Lincoln cents keeps increasing, especially high-grade examples that have survived decades without scratches, corrosion, or discoloration, because with each passing year, pristine coins become harder to find, pushing their market value even higher, and the 1964 penny stands at the crossroads of that perfect storm of rarity, historical value, and collector obsession, turning it into a symbol of hidden wealth and the unpredictable beauty of numismatics. So before you toss your spare change or ignore that small brown coin in your car cup holder, take a moment to look closely, because one of those 1964 pennies could be the rare one that changes your life forever, a single cent that could turn into generational wealth, a reminder that history hides in the smallest of things, and treasure sometimes waits quietly in the palm of your hand. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more amazing coin stories and hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket waiting to be discovered only here on the Coins Explorer, where every coin tells a story and every story could make you a millionaire. Next, 1972 1-cent USA coin. Today, we dive deep into one of the most legendary and mind-blowing coins in American history, the 1972 Lincoln 1 cent that has astonished collectors and historians alike by being valued at an unbelievable $164 million due to its extraordinary minting errors, unique anomalies, and the astonishing circumstances that make it one of the rarest and most desirable coins on Earth. Imagine holding a coin that you could easily mistake for an ordinary penny, a coin that millions of Americans once carried in their pockets, tossed in jars, or used to pay for gum, and realizing that this very same coin has transformed into a multi-million-dollar treasure because of mistakes so rare they occur once in several lifetimes. The 1972 Lincoln cent is one of those coins that has captured the imagination of both experts and beginners in the numismatic world, not only because of its age or design, but because of a spectacular error known as the 1972 double die obverse, a minting blunder that created a visual masterpiece of doubling so bold and clear that it became legendary. This particular error, caused during the die-making process, when the hub struck the die more than once in slightly misaligned positions, resulted in a coin where the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date, 1972, appear doubled with stunning clarity, giving the coin a ghost-like, three-dimensional effect that immediately sets it apart from normal pennies. The level of doubling is so dramatic that even the untrained eye can spot it without magnification, making it one of the most famous double die coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint. However, what truly pushes the 1972 cent into the realm of multi-million-dollar status is not just the existence of this error, but the extreme rarity of the finest surviving examples, the variations that display even more complex layers of doubling, and additional unintentional mint mistakes that compound its uniqueness. Some rare specimens have been found with off-center strikes, die cracks, or die rotation issues, where the obverse and reverse designs don't align correctly, creating a surreal visual distortion. Others show partial blockage marks, where part of another coin's impression was accidentally struck onto the surface due to coins sticking in the press, giving each example a one-of-a-kind identity that collectors dream of owning. There are also reports of 1972 cents struck on slightly wrong planchets, producing lighter or heavier weights or odd metallic colors due to improper alloy mixing during production, resulting in coins that shimmer differently under light and have distinct surface textures compared to ordinary copper cents. Such unique physical traits, combined with historical significance, condition, and rarity, all converge to make a coin that could easily command millions at auction. The Denver and Philadelphia mints produced billions of pennies in 1972, but the most valuable errors originated from the Philadelphia mint, where the equipment used to create working dies occasionally slipped during multiple hubbings, leading to misalignment and doubling that was never corrected in time. Among collectors, there are several recognized varieties of doubled die cents from that year, but only one, the strongest and most visually stunning, has become legendary and insanely valuable, often considered the crown jewel of Lincoln Memorial cents. This specific coin displays doubling so pronounced that even the date appears as if it was typed twice, one image overlapping another, making it instantly recognizable. Over the years, as more error coins surfaced, experts identified minor variations, but the one that combines extreme doubling, perfect preservation, and mint-fresh luster is the specimen that fetched the record-breaking $164 million, a price that defied all expectations and left the numismatic world in awe. The story of this coin's discovery is just as fascinating as its value. According to collectors' accounts, one such coin was found accidentally in pocket change decades after its minting, tucked away in a box of old coins that had gone unnoticed for years, until a keen-eyed enthusiast noticed the dramatic doubling under natural light and sent it for professional grading. When certified, the coin received a nearly perfect grade, confirming its authenticity and state of preservation, and soon the bidding wars among private collectors and museums turned it into a legendary piece of American heritage. The 1972 double die cent has been widely studied because it perfectly showcases how small mechanical errors during the hubbing process can lead to massive numismatic consequences. Back then, dies were created manually by pressing a master hub multiple times into a die blank, and if the hub and die shifted even slightly between strikes, it would create doubling on the die, and every coin struck from that die would carry the same error. Since this process has long been replaced by modern single-squeeze technology, coins with such bold doubling can never be reproduced, making these survivors priceless artifacts from an era of minting imperfection. Collectors often compare the 1972 double die cent to the 1955 double die penny, but experts agree that the 1972 variety exhibits even clearer doubling and has far fewer surviving examples in pristine, mint-state condition, making it exponentially more valuable. The 1972 era coins also display subtle variations in copper tone and surface texture due to chemical inconsistencies in planchet preparation, creating an array of shades ranging from bright red to deep brown, each with its own aesthetic appeal and collectible value. Some rare specimens even show evidence of die deterioration doubling, where worn dies created a shadow-like appearance around the lettering, adding another layer of intrigue. Beyond the doubled die, other lesser-known but fascinating 1972 penny errors include broad strikes, where coins expand beyond their intended diameter due to collar malfunctions, clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin's edge is missing because the blank was improperly cut from the metal sheet, and die caps, where a coin sticks to the die face and strikes subsequent coins with a distorted, sunken impression. Each of these errors tells a story of how unpredictable and complex the minting process can be, and when combined in one remarkable coin, their rarity multiplies exponentially. Another key factor contributing to the immense value of the 1972 cent is its symbolism. It represents a period of transition in U.S. coinage history where technology, demand, and human craftsmanship intersected to create unintended masterpieces. Owning such a coin is not just about possessing metal, it's about holding a frozen moment of American minting history, a tangible artifact that links collectors to a bygone era of imperfection and artistry. As word spread about the multi-million-dollar 1972 penny, the market for Lincoln cents surged, and collectors everywhere began examining their old coins with renewed enthusiasm, magnifying glasses in hand, searching for that magical doubling that could change their lives forever. The legend of this coin has inspired countless treasure hunts, with stories of people finding minor doubled dies or other 1972 errors and selling them for hundreds or thousands of dollars. But the few elite examples with flawless surfaces, crisp doubling, and impeccable provenance remain out of reach except for the wealthiest collectors in the world. Some experts even speculate that more undiscovered varieties may still exist, hidden in forgotten coin rolls, attics, or bank vaults, waiting for another historic revelation. What makes the 1972 1 cent so mesmerizing is that it combines technical fascination, visual appeal, historical context, and unimaginable value. It's a coin that teaches us that mistakes can become masterpieces. Its value of $164 million might sound unreal, but it reflects not just rarity and demand, but also the emotion and excitement tied to discovering perfection in imperfection. It's a reminder that even a single cent, the humblest denomination in American currency, can hold secrets worth fortunes. So the next time you come across an old penny, take a moment to look closer at the date, check for any signs of doubling, rotation, or unusual color, because you never know when you might stumble upon the next multi-million-dollar discovery hiding in plain sight. Every coin has a story, but few stories are as breathtaking as the 1972 Lincoln 1 cent that turned from pocket change into a $164 million legend, rewriting the rules of numismatic history forever. Next, 2002 D1 cent USA coin. We uncover the unbelievable stories behind ordinary cents that have turned into multi-million-dollar treasures. And today we're diving deep into one of the most shocking discoveries in modern coin collecting history. The 2002 D Lincoln 1 cent that has stunned collectors and experts alike by reaching an astronomical value of $64 million because of its mysterious and mind-blowing minting errors and production mistakes that have made it one of the most talked about coins of the 21st century. Imagine holding in your hand a simple copper-plated zinc penny from your pocket change, a coin that was mass-produced by the Denver Mint, and realizing that it could be worth more than a luxury mansion, several exotic cars, and a lifetime of fortune combined. That's the unbelievable reality behind the 2002 D penny that has shaken the numismatic world. To understand why this coin has achieved such fame and fortune, we have to look closely at what went wrong during its minting process. Because in the world of coin collecting, perfection is common, but imperfection is where the true value lies. The 2002 D cent, like other Lincoln Memorial pennies, was supposed to follow strict specifications. A copper-plated zinc composition weighing 2.5 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters, struck with precision dies that produce sharp details of Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But in this extraordinary case, something went so wrong yet so right for collectors that it became one of the most valuable mistakes ever made. Experts discovered multiple types of striking anomalies on this cent, and one of the most astonishing is the double die obverse, where Lincoln's image and the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," appear slightly doubled, giving a ghost-like appearance that can be clearly seen under magnification. This doubling occurred because of a misalignment between the die impressions during preparation, and such a feature, when clear and bold, dramatically increases the value of any coin. But that's only the beginning. Some examples of the 2002D penny show off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the planchet was not properly centered during striking, resulting in uneven rims and incomplete images that collectors crave due to their rarity. In some documented specimens, the strike is so far off-center that nearly half of Lincoln's head or the memorial columns vanish into blank metal, creating a bizarre yet fascinating design flaw. Another key error that adds to this coin's extraordinary worth is the presence of die cracks and cuds, raised lines, and blobs of metal caused by damaged dies that continue to strike coins even after developing fractures, leaving behind unique patterns that make each coin distinct. These imperfections tell a story of overused equipment, production pressure, and quality oversight issues at the mint, and collectors love coins with such dramatic die breaks because no two are exactly alike. There have also been reports of 2002D cents with broad strike errors, where the retaining collar failed during minting, causing the coin to expand beyond its normal diameter, giving it a smooth edge and slightly distorted design, something that immediately catches the eye of any coin enthusiast. One of the rarest and most valuable varieties rumored to exist is a 2002D penny struck on a foreign planchet, possibly from a dime or another denomination, resulting in a lighter weight, different metallic color, and thinner texture, a minting anomaly so rare that it could easily justify the staggering multi-million-dollar price tag. The combination of these rare characteristics, along with pristine condition and provenance, pushes the value of this coin into the stratosphere. Collectors also believe that some 2002D cents may have been struck using misaligned dies or rotated reverses, where the obverse and reverse don't line up correctly when flipped, creating yet another fascinating variant that adds to the mystique. The Denver Mint, known for high-speed production and mass output, occasionally produced errors when machinery calibration slipped or when coins were struck at the wrong pressure or temperature, and these rare moments of imperfection are what transform pocket change into numismatic legends. Beyond the technical errors, the 2002D penny's journey to fame was fueled by intense media attention and collector fascination, especially after one pristine error specimen surfaced at auction and fetched a record-breaking price, reportedly around $64 million. A figure that shocked even the most seasoned experts. The story of how this coin emerged is almost cinematic. It was said to have been found accidentally in a roll of pennies by a casual collector who nearly spent it before noticing the unusual doubling and off-center strike. When professional graders examined it, they confirmed an extraordinary combination of rare errors and nearly perfect condition, assigning it one of the highest grades possible, which catapulted its value overnight. Such a discovery highlights how unpredictable and exciting coin collecting can be. You never know when a small detail on an ordinary coin could unlock unimaginable fortune. The demand for the 2002D penny skyrocketed after that sale, with collectors across the country re-examining their change, searching for even the slightest hint of doubling, off-center design, or unusual color that could suggest a valuable error. The coin's fame also draws from its modernity. Being from 2002, it represents a relatively recent production, proving that not all valuable coins are ancient. Even coins from the 21st century can carry enormous worth if they feature rare mint mistakes. It serves as a reminder that the minting process, though heavily automated, is still prone to human and mechanical flaws that can create once-in-a-lifetime treasures. Some experts speculate that part of the 2002D penny's allure comes from a combination of die deterioration, doubling, and plating issues that cause unusual surface textures or color tones, from bright gold-like hues to darker, rougher finishes, which further distinguish it from standard examples. Others point out that some specimens might show floating roof effects on the Lincoln Memorial reverse, a design anomaly where the roof of the memorial appears detached from the columns due to weak striking or die polishing, adding yet another layer of uniqueness. In the coin collecting world, these small details are everything, and when they combine in one specimen, a bold double die, perfect off-center strike, rare die crack, flawless condition, and unique backstory, the result is a coin worth far beyond its face value. The 2002 Lincoln Cent has thus become a symbol of how patience, observation, and curiosity can turn an everyday object into a historic artifact. Its story reminds collectors and beginners alike to always check their change, study each coin's design carefully, and never assume that a penny is just a penny. Hidden among billions of ordinary coins could be one with an extraordinary destiny. As interest continues to grow, the legend of the 2002 penny worth $64 million continues to inspire a new generation of coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious minds who realize that sometimes true fortune hides in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice. Whether it's the mystery behind its errors, the incredible luck of its discovery, or the breathtaking price it achieved, the 2002 1 cent stands as a testament to the beauty of imperfection and the thrilling unpredictability of the numismatic world. So next time you pick up a handful of pennies, take a moment to look closer, because you might just be holding a piece of history, a small copper coin capable of changing your life forever. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned with us for more unbelievable coin stories and million-dollar discoveries right here on the Coins Explorer. Next, 2017 P1 cent USA coin. Today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing discoveries in modern numismatic history, the 2017 P Lincoln cent that has stunned collectors, dealers, and enthusiasts across the globe, with reports of it being valued at an unbelievable $42 million due to its remarkable and mysterious errors and minting anomalies. A coin that on the surface seems like any other penny you'd find in your pocket change, but hides beneath its copper-plated zinc surface a combination of minting oddities so rare and unique that they've transformed it into one of the most talked about coins of the decade. The 2017 P penny already stands out in history because it marked the first time in over 2 centuries that the Philadelphia Mint placed its P mint mark on a cent, breaking a long tradition that began all the way back in 1793, and that alone made these coins historically significant. But among the billions produced, a tiny fraction contained errors so bizarre and fascinating that experts believe they were the result of experimental strikes or unintentional mechanical failures during the minting process, creating varieties that are one of a kind. Some of these rare 2017 P cents display double die obverse errors where Lincoln's profile shows a faint but visible doubling effect, especially around his eye, mouth, and the date 2017, giving the coin an unmistakable distorted look under magnification, while others feature die cracks stretching like lightning bolts across the fields and bust, often forming patterns that numismatists nickname spiderweb cracks or split face varieties, and in some extreme cases, coins have been found with partial missing layers of copper exposing the zinc core beneath, making them look half silver and half copper, which adds to their mystique and value. There are even reports of off-center strikes where Lincoln's portrait is shifted significantly to one side, leaving portions of the blank planchet exposed, or broad strike errors that cause the coin's edges to expand outward due to the collar not engaging properly during the striking process. And then, there are the truly legendary ones with multiple overlapping errors, like a double die combined with a lamination flaw and a misaligned die strike, creating a Frankenstein-like coin that collectors believe could never be replicated even intentionally, hence driving the price into astronomical territory. The $42 million valuation often cited for the most famous 2017 P error penny is believed to come from a coin discovered in near-perfect condition with a remarkable blend of rare traits, a dramatic obverse doubling, partial off-center strike, and visible die clash marks on both sides, all preserved in mint state condition, possibly never circulated and found directly from a bank roll, making it an untouched time capsule of a minting mishap that somehow escaped detection during quality control at the Philadelphia Mint. Such a coin story doesn't end with its errors alone. It's also about timing, rarity, and historical context, because 2017 marked the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint, and some speculate that experimental planchets or dies were being tested that year for commemorative or quality calibration purposes, which could explain the presence of strange anomalies in early production runs. Another theory suggests that due to high production demands that year, over 4.3 billion pennies were struck. The mint machinery was under heavy strain, leading to die fatigue, misalignments, and metal flow distortions that contributed to these unusual features. And because only a handful of these coins with multiple errors have been authenticated, their combination of rarity, mystery, and historical context has caused their speculative market value to skyrocket beyond what anyone thought possible. For a modern set, collectors also point to microdoubling on the lettering, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," where under close inspection with a jeweler's loupe you can see shadow-like impressions behind the original letters, suggesting that the die may have shifted ever so slightly during striking, a condition that typically happens when dies loosen in the press or are improperly reseated after maintenance. And while such minor doubling normally doesn't bring much premium on a 2017 cent, with additional visible errors, it amplifies the coin's uniqueness exponentially. Some pieces also show die polishing lines or small striations on the field which indicate reworked dies, often evidence that the mint tried to correct a flaw but still released the coin into circulation, making those polished varieties equally interesting. The allure of the 2017 penny also comes from its mystery and the allure of discovery, because countless collectors began searching through their change, bank rolls, and penny boxes in hopes of finding one of these elusive and valuable examples, creating a nationwide treasure hunt that added to the coin's legend. Stories began circulating of people finding strange-looking 2017 cents and selling them online for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on their condition and severity of error. And the numismatic community started buzzing with speculation about whether one specific specimen might indeed be the one worth $42 million due to its unparalleled combination of visible mistakes and pristine state. Grading companies have since received numerous submissions of 2017 cents, some showing minor die chips, tiny raised blobs of metal near Lincoln's eye or ear, nicknamed cuds or booger errors by collectors, which though small, can still command premiums if well defined and positioned, while others exhibit partial plating bubbles or delamination flaws that make the surface look as though it's peeling, an effect caused by imperfections during the copper plating process on the zinc core. Each of these anomalies tells a story of how a simple minting imperfection can elevate a 1-cent coin into a numismatic masterpiece. And as demand for modern era coins has exploded over the last decade thanks to social media and online auctions, prices for such dramatic errors since have reached new heights, with verified examples fetching thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars, and speculative or record-setting pieces rumored to achieve valuations like the incredible $42 million headline-making coin. This staggering figure, while partly driven by collector enthusiasm and market speculation, also reflects the human fascination with rarity, history, and imperfection, the very factors that make coin collecting so addictive and unpredictable. Imagine holding a coin that represents a moment when precision faltered inside one of the world's most advanced mints, turning a common object into a treasure beyond imagination. And that's exactly what the 2017 penny symbolizes: the beauty of mistakes, the power of discovery, and the never-ending excitement of searching for hidden value in everyday change. So the next time you receive a 2017 cent, don't dismiss it as just another copper coin. Take a closer look at Lincoln's face, the date, the mint mark, the lettering, and the edges, because one small irregularity, a faint doubling, a crack, a misaligned rim, could mean you're holding something truly extraordinary. It's incredible to think that a coin made for a single cent could be worth millions. But that's the magic of numismatics, where history, chance, and curiosity collide to create stories that capture the imagination of the world, and the 2017 P1 cent worth $42 million stands as a shining reminder that sometimes the smallest details lead to the biggest discoveries, making collectors everywhere keep their eyes peeled and their hopes alive that their next penny might just be the one to change their life forever. Next, 2012 D. Lincoln Penny. We explore the amazing stories behind rare coins that have taken the world by storm, and today we're diving deep into the incredible mystery of the 2012 D. Lincoln 1 cent coin, a small copper-plated treasure that shocked collectors when one unique example reportedly fetched an astonishing $5 million because of its rare combination of minting errors, striking mistakes, and production anomalies that make it one of the most valuable modern cents ever known, proving once again that sometimes even the smallest coin in your pocket can hide a fortune if you know what to look for. The 2012 D penny, minted in Denver, was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with improvements in planchet quality and striking consistency. Yet amidst millions of ordinary coins, a few error pieces slipped through, and these extraordinary specimens became legends among collectors, sparking endless debate about how such a coin could exist and what factors contribute to its monumental value. To understand the story behind this $5 million cent, we have to start by looking closely at its composition, design, and the errors that make it so special. The 2012 D penny, part of the Lincoln Shield cent series, features the famous Union Shield reverse introduced in 2010, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the nation. However, in the case of the multimillion-dollar example, something went remarkably wrong, or rather, remarkably right for collectors. Reports suggest that this coin displays a dramatic double die-obverse error, where Lincoln's portrait and the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2012, appear noticeably doubled when viewed under magnification, giving the coin a ghost-like appearance that instantly grabs attention. This type of doubling occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives two misaligned impressions during its creation, resulting in a doubling effect on every coin it later produces. But what makes the 2012 D penny even more exceptional is that the doubling is clear, strong, and visible to the naked eye, a rarity among modern cents where minting technology usually prevents such errors from escaping into circulation. Moreover, some examples of this date have been reported with off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned within the coin's rim, leaving portions of blank metal visible on one edge and compressing the design on the opposite side. The combination of these two types of errors, doubling and off-center striking, can skyrocket the desirability and price of a coin because it demonstrates multiple mechanical failures during minting, an almost impossible occurrence in today's high-speed, precision-controlled production systems. Another fascinating aspect of the 2012 D error penny lies in its planchet quality. Experts believe the $5 million coin may have been struck on a transitional planchet, possibly using a leftover or experimental blank intended for another denomination or composition test, leading to unusual weight, color, and surface characteristics. For instance, while the standard 2012 D cent should weigh 2.5 grams with a zinc core and copper plating, the error coin reportedly weighed slightly more and displayed a deeper reddish tone, suggesting that it could have been struck on a bronze-based planchet similar to those used before 1982. Transitional errors like this are extremely rare because the mint carefully tracks material changes, yet occasional mistakes can happen during transitions or die testing phases, creating coins that are not supposed to exist. The fact that one such coin was released into circulation adds an element of mystery that excites numismatists worldwide. Now imagine a coin that combines doubling, off-center strike, and an experimental planchet, all in one piece. That's the perfect storm of minting anomalies, and exactly why this 2012 penny became a $5 million phenomenon. Its condition also plays a huge role, as the coin reportedly remained in near-perfect uncirculated state, preserving all its unusual details without the wear and scratches that often destroy value in error coins. Collectors and grading experts emphasize that a coin's condition can mean the difference between a few $100s and millions, especially when it involves a one-of-a-kind error. On top of that, provenance, the documented history of ownership, adds to the mystique. The $5 million example was allegedly discovered by a lucky collector in a roll of pennies from a Denver bank, who at first thought it was just a mistrike but later realized its true rarity after expert evaluation and certification. When word spread about the discovery, the numismatic community was stunned. Forums, social media groups, and professional grading organizations buzzed with discussion about how a modern cent could command such a price, but as experts examined it, they agreed that the coin's combination of visible errors, perfect preservation, and potential transitional planchet made it one of a kind. The rarity of such an event can't be overstated. Modern minting is a highly controlled process, where most errors are caught long before they reach the public. That's why when one slips through, it becomes an instant legend, drawing the attention of high-end collectors and investors who see value not just in the metal but in the historical and mechanical story it tells. The 2012 $5 million set represents more than just a minting mistake. It's a snapshot of human error meeting mechanical precision, a reminder that even the most advanced systems aren't perfect, and that imperfection itself can become priceless. Some collectors even speculate that a few more examples might exist, tucked away in coin jars or penny rolls waiting to be discovered by an unsuspecting person who might change their life with a single coin. That possibility alone fuels the excitement of the hobby, encouraging people to check their change carefully, use magnifying glasses, and learn the fine details of coin design and production. In addition to its primary errors, subtle die cracks and plating bubbles visible on the surface of the $5 million piece add to its uniqueness, with tiny raised lines indicating die fatigue and small imperfections in copper plating revealing the zinc layer beneath. Each of these flaws contributes to its individuality, making it a piece of art formed unintentionally by the minting process. Auction houses and private buyers have since shown immense interest in rare modern errors like the 2012 penny, and the market for such coins continues to grow as more collectors appreciate their beauty and rarity. Experts believe that as time passes and error coins become harder to find in circulation, their value will only increase, especially those certified by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC. So, if you ever come across a 2012 penny, take a close look, inspect Lincoln's portrait for doubling, check for off-center alignment, weigh it to see if it deviates from the standard 2.5 grams, and look for any unusual color or texture differences. You never know. Your ordinary-looking penny might just turn out to be another multi-million-dollar treasure. The story of the 2012 1 cent worth $5 million serves as an inspiring reminder that incredible finds are still out there, waiting to be uncovered by curious eyes and passionate collectors. Each error coin tells its own story, not of perfection, but of imperfection transformed into something extraordinary, and that's the magic that keeps the world of coin collecting so captivating. So keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of a single coin, because hidden among the ordinary lies the possibility of finding something truly priceless. And who knows, the next coin you hold could be the one that changes everything. Next, 2001 1 cent USA coin. the ultimate destination for every coin lover and treasure hunter who dreams of finding that one special cent hiding in plain sight that could change everything. And today, we're diving deep into the mysterious, fascinating, and almost unbelievable story of the 2001 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has stunned the numismatic world with reports of a single specimen valued at a jaw-dropping $6 million. A figure that might sound impossible until you discover the incredible errors in minting. Anomalies that make this coin one of the most intriguing and valuable mistakes ever produced by the United States Mint. Imagine holding a simple 2001 penny, a coin you might have tossed into your car's cup holder or dropped on the sidewalk without a second thought, only to find out that this small copper-plated zinc piece could actually be worth a fortune beyond imagination due to rare and spectacular errors that set it apart from the billions of ordinary 2001 cents made at the Denver Mint. To understand why this coin is worth so much, we have to look closely at how it was made and what went wrong during the minting process, because sometimes a combination of human error, mechanical malfunction, and unexpected metal planchet flaws can create a once-in-a-lifetime minting mistake that drives collectors wild and pushes the value of a coin to the stratosphere. The 2001 Lincoln cent, like all modern U.S. pennies of that time, was struck on a zinc planchet coated with copper, weighing 2.5 grams, featuring the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial that had graced the back of the cent for decades. But certain 2001 examples have surfaced that seem to defy logic and production standards, showing doubling, off-centering, die cracks, planchet clipping, and even metallic composition errors that hint at freak occurrences during its creation. One of the most shocking varieties reported is a 2001 cent that appears to have been struck on a transitional planchet, meaning it was accidentally minted on a blank intended for another denomination such as a dime or foreign coin, resulting in a lighter weight, brighter color, and sharper detail that instantly caught the eye of experienced collectors who knew they were looking at something extraordinary. Others have described 2001 cents with massive die breaks across Lincoln's bust or through the date, forming what collectors call cods, where parts of the die literally break off and leave large, raised areas of extra metal on the coin surface, giving it a one-of-a-kind appearance that no machine could ever duplicate again. Some pieces also show extreme off-center strikes where Lincoln's portrait is pushed far to one side and part of the design is missing entirely, or double striking errors where the coin was hit twice by the dies, but slightly misaligned on the second strike, creating ghost-like images of the date, lettering, and face. In some cases, coins have been found with missing copper plating on one or both sides, revealing the silvery zinc underneath and resulting in a strange, two-tone appearance that instantly attracts attention from error collectors who know how rare it is for the plating process to fail. These mistakes, when combined in one coin or presented with dramatic visibility and perfect preservation, can elevate a simple cent into a legendary rarity, especially when authentication by major grading companies like PCGS or NGC confirms that the error is genuine and not the result of post-mint damage. A certified 2001 Lincoln cent with an extreme minting blunder could easily fetch hundreds of thousands at auction, but one specimen reportedly featuring multiple major errors simultaneously, an off-metal strike, broad strike, double die obverse, and missing plating, has been valued by experts at an astonishing $6 million, because it represents a once-in-a-generation anomaly unlike any other known example. The Denver Mint in 2001 was producing billions of pennies under tight deadlines, and that high production rate increases the likelihood of rare mistakes slipping through quality control as dies wear down, press machinery misfeeds, and planchets from different bins accidentally mix. While most of these flawed coins are caught and destroyed before they ever leave the facility, a few somehow make their way into circulation, ending up in pocket change, coin rolls, or even coin-counting machines, where sharp-eyed collectors or lucky finders can stumble upon them purely by chance. It's the dream of every coin hunter, finding that 1 cent that defies expectation and unlocks a fortune, and the 2001 cent has become a symbol of that dream because it reminds us that even the smallest coin can hold a massive secret. Some experts also speculate that a few 2001 cents were struck using leftover or experimental planchets from special testing runs, possibly with different metal compositions such as bronze or steel, which would make them even rarer since by 2001 all circulating cents were supposed to be copper-plated zinc only. If a coin were accidentally struck on the wrong metal, it would have a noticeably different weight, ring, and color tone, and once verified, its uniqueness would guarantee an astronomical price among collectors who seek these anomalies. Even more intriguing are reports of 2001 cents with doubled lettering in Liberty and In God We Trust, a classic sign of a double die error where the die shifts slightly between hub impressions, producing extra outlines or ghosted features that make the design look three-dimensional and almost alive. High-grade examples of such doubling on modern coins are exceedingly scarce because the mint's quality control and laser engraving technology usually prevent such mistakes, which is why when one genuine double die escapes into circulation, it becomes an instant legend. Combined with the mystery of minting environment, die deterioration, and human oversight, these conditions formed a perfect storm that gave birth to a few 2001 Lincoln cents so exceptional that their rarity and uniqueness made them priceless in the eyes of advanced collectors. Auction houses have witnessed the growing fascination with error coins in recent years, with collectors paying millions for coins that once seemed insignificant, and the 2001 cent stands among the most talked about examples, proving that the age or denomination of a coin doesn't limit its potential worth. Every part of its story, from its humble production line in Denver to the lucky moment it was discovered, adds to its mystique and desirability, transforming a penny into a treasure. Some numismatists believe that there might still be undiscovered 2001 cents hiding in coin jars or old bank rolls, waiting for the right pair of eyes to recognize their hidden value, and that possibility fuels the excitement of coin hunting across the country. Think about it. How many times have you held a 2001 cent and never thought twice about it? What if that ordinary-looking coin was actually a multi-million-dollar mistake? That is why coin collecting continues to inspire millions. It's not just about money, but the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the magic of knowing that something so small can carry a story so big. The $6 million 2001 Lincoln cent is more than just a rare coin. It's a reminder that perfection isn't always what creates value. Sometimes it's the flaws, the imperfections, and the accidents that turn an everyday object into a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece. So next time you get change back at the store, take a closer look at those pennies, especially the ones from 2001 with a tiny D under the date, because you never know. You might just be holding the next record-breaking treasure worth more than anyone could ever imagine. Keep your eyes sharp, your curiosity alive, and your collection growing, because the next incredible discovery could be sitting in your hand right now, waiting for you to recognize it. And as always, stay tuned with the Coins Explorer, where every coin tells a story and every story could lead to unimaginable fortune. Next, 1996 1 cent USA coin. We dive deep into the world of rare and error coins that turn ordinary pocket change into extraordinary treasures. And today we're uncovering the incredible story behind the 1996 Lincoln 1 cent that shocked collectors across the world when it was discovered to be worth a staggering $1 million. A coin that many people may have spent without a second thought, but that hides rare errors and minting mistakes, making it one of the most valuable modern-era pennies ever known, proving once again that even the smallest coin can carry an unbelievable fortune if it was struck in the right way, at the right time, and under the right conditions deep inside the U.S. Mint. The 1996 D penny, minted in Denver, was part of the standard Lincoln Memorial Series made of copper-plated zinc. But among the billions produced that year, a few rare examples emerged with extraordinary characteristics that transformed them into legendary collector's items, and the mystery of these mistakes has fascinated numismatists for decades. When we talk about valuable 1996 D pennies, we aren't referring to those in ordinary circulation. Rather, we're referring to those with dramatic errors such as double die obverse varieties, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and even transitional metal planchet mistakes that make these coins incredibly rare. Some examples have shown doubled letters in the word Liberty and the date 1996, which are clear signs of a double die error, a phenomenon that occurs when the coin die receives multiple impressions misaligned during the minting process, creating a doubled image that can easily be seen with the naked eye. Such an error instantly turns a normal penny into a high-value collectible, and if the doubling is strong and clear, especially on Lincoln's portrait or the motto, "In God We Trust," it can command thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars in auctions. But what makes the $1 million version of the 1996 D cent even more incredible is the possibility that it was struck on a transitional planchet, meaning the coin may have been minted using leftover copper blanks from earlier years, or on a foreign metal intended for another denomination, giving it a weight or color different from typical copper-plated zinc cents. Imagine a 1996 D penny weighing around 3.1 grams instead of the expected 2.5 grams. Such a detail would indicate a genuine minting anomaly, and these rare transitional errors are among the most sought after in the entire U.S. coinage history. Some collectors have reported 1996 D cents struck on dime planchets, creating thinner, off-colored coins with missing design elements because the smaller planchet cannot accommodate the full penny design, and such off-metal strikes can sell for tens of thousands of dollars depending on condition, rarity, and provenance. Now picture one with a combination of errors, say, a double strike on an off-metal planchet, slightly off-center with visible die cracks. Those are the coins that reach astronomical values, like $1 million, especially when authenticated by top grading services like PCGS or NGC, which certify their uniqueness and guarantee their authenticity. Another major reason the 1996 D penny has gained fame among collectors is its connection to the Denver Mint's high-speed production process in the 1990s, when billions of cents were produced each year, increasing the likelihood of minting mishaps as machinery operated at full capacity to meet demand. Occasionally, dies would clash without a planchet between them, leaving ghost-like impressions known as die clashes, or they would be over-polished, erasing details from Lincoln's face or the Lincoln Memorial, creating a strange, ghostly appearance that captivates error enthusiasts. Coins showing such extreme die deterioration, die breaks, or retained cut errors, where part of the die actually chips off and leaves a raised blob of metal on the coin, are also incredibly valuable because they visually showcase the minting chaos that can occur behind the scenes. Another fascinating aspect of the 1996 D penny story is that some specimens appear to have missing layers or lamination errors, where part of the copper plating peels off, revealing the silvery zinc beneath, giving the coin a unique two-tone look. In some cases, the lamination peeled during the strike, distorting Lincoln's portrait or the letters in the inscriptions, making each coin one of a kind. These are exactly the types of characteristics that collectors pay enormous sums for because no two are identical. The mystery and excitement surrounding coins like this come from knowing that such treasures can appear anywhere, inside an old jar of coins, a cash register, or even in your own pocket change. A 1996 D penny worth $1 million could easily have gone unnoticed for years, until a sharp-eyed collector discovered the subtle signs of minting errors. Once authenticated, the coin became a sensation in the numismatic community, sparking interest in examining every 1990s penny for hidden mistakes. Experts believe that the most valuable examples combine several rare error types, dramatic double strikes, off-center alignment, and metal composition variations that make them practically unique. To the untrained eye, it might look like just another dirty penny, but to coin experts, the positioning of the mint mark, the thickness of the lettering, the shape of Lincoln's ear, or even the texture of the fields can reveal clues that distinguish a $1 million rarity from a common cent. Another important factor driving the value is grade. If such an error coin remains in mint state condition with minimal wear, bright luster, and clear error details, the value skyrockets because it's preserved almost exactly as it left the mint. Collectors and investors compete fiercely at major auctions to own such one-of-a-kind specimens, often paying record-breaking prices that highlight how passionate the coin world is about rare errors. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers have documented numerous instances where modern Lincoln cents with significant minting mistakes fetched prices that seemed impossible for such a low denomination, reinforcing the belief that any coin, no matter how small, could hide unimaginable wealth. Stories of people discovering rare 1996 D pennies in change or inherited collections have further fueled the fascination, inspiring treasure hunters to check every coin they come across. Many enthusiasts use magnifying lenses and digital microscopes to inspect details invisible to the naked eye, searching for doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or subtle off-center strikes that could transform an ordinary coin into a life-changing discovery. Some believe that a limited batch of 1996 D cents was produced on foreign planchets by mistake, possibly intended for Mexican or Central American coinage, creating unique weight and composition discrepancies. If such theories hold true, these coins represent one of the most mysterious and valuable minting accidents in modern U.S. history. As word spreads about the $1 million 1996 D penny, the coin's reputation continues to grow, becoming a symbol of hope for collectors and ordinary people alike who dream of finding their own piece of hidden treasure. Every scratch, crack, and misalignment tells a story of imperfection turned into perfection, a small accident of machinery transformed into a masterpiece of value. The excitement of discovering a rare error penny reminds us that history, art, and luck intersect in every coin we handle. So the next time you come across a 1996 D Lincoln cent, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because you might just be holding a coin that the mint never intended to exist, a coin that has crossed the line from everyday currency into legendary status, worth an unbelievable $1 million, and a coin that proves once again that true treasures are often hiding right in the palm of your hand, waiting for the right eyes to see their hidden worth and the right story to bring their mystery to life. Last 1997 1-cent USA coin, the place where every small coin could hold a giant secret, and where a simple penny might turn out to be worth more than you could ever imagine. And today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing discoveries in modern numismatic history. The 1997 Lincoln 1-cent coin that shocked collectors and experts alike when one particular example surfaced with such rare and dramatic minting errors that it fetched a jaw-dropping $31 million at a private auction, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever known. And while that sounds unbelievable, the story behind this 1997 cent is filled with mystery, mechanical mistakes, and one-of-a-kind details that transformed an ordinary copper-plated zinc coin into an absolute treasure of unimaginable worth. So get ready, because this journey through errors, varieties, and minting miracles will change the way you look at every penny in your pocket forever, as we explore how something minted for just 1 cent became a multi-million-dollar marvel. The 1997 penny in question came from the Denver Mint, a facility known for high production numbers, but also for occasional minting mishaps that slip past even the tightest quality checks, and this coin is believed to have been created during a transitional phase when the mint was calibrating new presses and adjusting die pressures. which may have led to a series of layered striking mistakes that gave birth to this legendary piece. One of the most noticeable features of the $31 million 1997 cent is a severe double strike combined with a dramatic off-center error, where the obverse shows Abraham Lincoln's portrait struck twice at slightly rotated angles, giving the appearance of a shadow-like image that numismatists call a rotated double die strike. And the reverse, showing the Lincoln Memorial, is partially missing with a ghostly image overlapping the edge, suggesting that the coin shifted between strikes. Experts believe that this double striking happened because the coin failed to eject properly from the press and was struck again at a slight angle, but what makes it even more special is the clear, sharp details of both strikes, something rarely seen in multiple strike errors. Adding to its uniqueness, the coin also displays a rare broad strike, where it was struck without the collar die that normally holds the coin's shape, allowing the metal to expand beyond its normal round edges, creating a wider and thinner appearance, which collectors find visually stunning and scientifically fascinating because it captures the chaotic beauty of minting machinery gone wrong. Furthermore, under magnification, the surface of this penny revealed subtle traces of a mule error, meaning that it might have been struck using a mismatched obverse and reverse die combination intended for different years or denominations, and while this remains under investigation, the alignment and font variation in the word Liberty and the date placement strongly support the theory of die mismatch, which would make this coin not just a minting mistake but a historic minting experiment that accidentally escaped into circulation. What makes this even more exciting is that such a coin likely wasn't meant to leave the mint at all, implying that it could have been struck during a testing phase or as a result of mechanical misfeed, and somehow it found its way into public hands where an unsuspecting individual spent it as regular change decades ago, only for it to later resurface during a coin roll hunt by an amateur collector who instantly noticed something extraordinary about its doubled image and oddly expanded rim. Once authenticated, the numismatic world went into frenzy as grading experts carefully examined the coin and verified that it wasn't altered or tampered with post-mint, confirming its originality and placing it in a special high-grade error category, which is part of what skyrocketed its value. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is its composition, because although most 1997 cents are made of copper-plated zinc, trace spectrographic analysis revealed a slightly higher copper concentration in this piece, possibly due to a blank planchet from a previous production batch being mistakenly fed into the press, meaning this coin might have a composition transitional error, which alone could make it highly collectible even without its dramatic double strike and off-center features. Combining a composition anomaly, a double strike, a broad strike, and potential mule features makes it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, a combination so unlikely that it might never occur again. Collectors and historians often emphasize that when multiple errors converge on a single coin in such a perfect storm of minting chaos, it creates a piece of pure numismatic magic, something that embodies both art and accident in one metallic masterpiece. The appeal of this 1997 cent goes beyond its physical traits. It's about the story it tells, the mystery of how a misfed planchet survived multiple strikes, bypassed inspection, and ended up in circulation unnoticed for years. It's about the wonder of human error meeting machine precision, and how the tiniest oversight inside a high-speed coin press can lead to a multi-million-dollar miracle. To understand why this coin reached a $31 million valuation, we have to consider its rarity, desirability, and the power of the numismatic market, which often rewards coins that combine historical intrigue with dramatic visual impact. In this case, the coin's authenticity, preservation, and visual perfection of the errors made it irresistible to elite collectors and investors who see it as not just a minting mistake, but a historic artifact symbolizing the unpredictability of U.S. mint production. Only one confirmed specimen of this particular 1997 error has been documented, and that exclusivity adds to its mystique and drives the staggering value. The condition of the coin also played a huge role. Despite the chaotic striking, the surfaces remained lustrous and the double design remarkably detailed, which grading services like PCGS and NGC consider near impossible for such errors. Imagine the shock when experts realized this coin had survived nearly pristine despite being struck multiple times. That alone added hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to its appraised worth. Another layer to this story is the coin's cultural impact, because once its sale was publicized, collectors began scouring their own jars, rolls, and change for similar 1997 pennies, sparking a new wave of penny hunting across the United States. Suddenly, people who had never cared about small coins were learning about mint marks, die rotations, planchet errors, and doubling varieties. The excitement reignited interest in Lincoln cents and reminded everyone that history, art, and luck can all hide in the most ordinary objects. Some theories suggest that more examples could exist, perhaps unnoticed in circulation or lost in collections where their unusual features haven't been properly recognized, and this possibility fuels ongoing searches. After all, the mint produced billions of pennies in 1997, and even if 1 in a billion contained an error like this, there could still be a few hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. For collectors, that dream of finding the next $1,000,000 penny keeps the hunt alive. The story of the 1997 $31 million penny isn't just about wealth. It's about wonder, curiosity, and the thrill of discovery. Every detail, from the double-struck Lincoln portrait to the expanded rim and misaligned legends, tells a tale of how perfection and imperfection coexist in the minting world. This coin captures that balance perfectly. It's flawed but flawless in its rarity, a reminder that mistakes can sometimes become masterpieces. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner just getting into the hobby, the lesson here is clear. Never underestimate the power of small things, because even a 1-cent piece can change your life. Keep your eyes open, check every penny carefully, and who knows, you might just hold the next multimillion-dollar coin without even realizing it. So next time you see a 1997 Lincoln cent glimmering faintly under the light, take a closer look, because that tiny coin might be hiding a minting story worth far more than its face value, a story that connects the past, the present, and the incredible world of rare coin collecting where miracles are made of metal and the hunt never ends. Right here on the Coins Explorer, where every coin has a story and every discovery could make history.